Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we have two of the biggest games of the season for us as we really push on for a fight for survival. Now, Ashton United and Altrincham are coming up in today's episode. Since you were last here, finally, it may have just started to click with these players. It's taken all bloody season, but it may have just started to click since you were last here. So you were last here for the Derby episodes. The Gainsborough Trinity and the Boston game. We played quite well in both those games, I've got to say. We kept Gainsborough out apart from a free kick, and we kept Boston out all game. Really should have got 2 draws that episode, and that was the catalyst, I think. Those derbies seem to be the catalyst for change. The first game after that episode, we played Witton Albion. We went 2-0 up. 2-0 up before half-time, before they brought it back to 2-2 in the 90th minute. That was really frustrating. I thought we were going to get a much-needed win at that point. We didn't, obviously. We got the draw instead, but we played very well in that match, apart from like 60 minutes onwards. We didn't play particularly well, but we played very well. I thought, these past 2 results against Boston and Witton are good results in terms of where they are in the league in the draws. So we can't be too upset with those draws. But against Stafford Rangers, in the 80th minute, a Connor Robinson penalty settled the difference between us, giving us our first win in 5 games, actually. So that was nice to see, getting 3 points on the board once again. We then beat Droylsden 3-0 at home, one of the biggest wins of the season for us, which is quite upsetting. It's only 3-0, and that's one of the biggest wins. It could be the biggest win actually all season. Lee Masters, we won in the 18th minute, and Jamie Bird scoring in the 31st and 42nd minute. The 2 relatively new signings that we brought in midway through the season, finally starting to actually play well, because they've not been particularly good so far this season. Following that game, we played Pontefract Collieries, and I've got to say, we got very lucky in this game. 2 own goals from Ollie Lutto made sure we won that 1-2-1. So we got quite lucky against Pontefract. Pontefract I didn't think we'd beat, but Ollie Lutto clearly had a bet on us to either win the game or to avoid relegation, because he's really helped us out with both of those there. So, a draw and 3 wins. 10 extra points since last episode. That is absolutely huge. It takes us to 40 points this season. And for the first time in a while, if we look at the league table, we sit just outside that relegation zone, albeit on goal difference, because Stafford Rangers also on 40 points. But we're 2 points clear of Matlock and 6 points clear of Nantwich Town, which is really good. Really importantly as well, the game against Ashton United, they sit above us on better goal difference. We've got minus 13 goal difference. They've got minus 4 goal difference, but both on 40 points. A win against them would put more breathing room between us and the relegation zone. In fact, actually, a win, if we win it 6 or 7-0, could take us above Curzon Ashton 14th, as long as everyone else above us loses. So potentially we could move up to 14th today. Thankfully though, the form has finally started to come. Those 3 fixtures were relatively kind, I've got to say. The Stafford, Droylsden, Pontefract, they were kind of kind to have those 3 in a row. But we picked up a good bit of form and a good little bit of momentum, I think, in those 2 games against Boston and Witton. That Witton game really proved we actually could score some goals. Bit shaky defence, but we fixed that in the next 3 few games. And now we've got these 2 games, and after that, 5 more games. As long as we just don't capitulate after these 3 wins, we should be okay for survival, I think. So then going into this game against Ashton United, we're going to go for the attacking winger formation. We've used a mixture of this and the 4-4-2 in the previous games, and it's worked quite well. So, in goal, Emery, of course, with a backline of Roberts, Narty, Jacklin and Ford. Masters and McQuaid make up the central midfield partnership. Luke Holmes, Sam Cotton and Jimmy Bird make up that attacking midfield trio. And then Connor Robinson, who is declining, I've got to say, declining in his abilities, is starting up front. And I'm not quite sure what to do at the end of the season with Connor Robinson, because he's on £250 a week, which is a lot of money. But as you can see, only 2.5-star current ability now, which isn't really what we want. And he's also apparently lacking in his role and duty, the highlight key attributes. He's not very good at what he wants to be, apparently. That's what it's trying to tell us. But at the same time, 27 goals in our first season, 29 goals in our second season, and 14 goals this season in the league above. I don't think we can get rid of him, but hopefully we can get on a smaller contract. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Either way, that's what I'm thinking with Connor Robinson. We're also probably going to get rid of a lot of players, but we'll talk about that probably next episode. Either way, let's get into today's game and hopefully pick up a win against Ashton United. Right then, kickoff is upon us today on this particularly square pitch. In fact, it looks like the goal line is longer than it looks like the pitch is wider than it is longer, which is a bit bizarre. But hopefully we'll play to our advantages today. Hopefully we'll score a nice goal or 2 on this particularly odd pitch, as we have just given the ball away I swear if Ashton score here, they haven't, but if I swear they did, they would have had a bollocking from me straight away. So I'm expecting good stuff today. I'm expecting us to play well, get a decent result here at Ashton. If anything, if the previous few games are anything to go off, we should get a good result here today. But of course, football is a peculiar game and things can change at any moment. As Masters is looking under pressure, Nati also kind of under pressure, puts it back to Emery. That's probably a sensible thing to do, actually. And Emery back to Nati. Not very entertaining football, and the ball forward was rubbish. But we do retain possession as Matt Cotter, or Robinson rather, gets on the ball. Can he slide it through to someone? Gets out to Bradley Roberts on the wing. He can put the cross in, and it's a penalty. Luke Combs apparently to take the penalty. Is he the best one to take it? He's actually could be the best one to take it, actually. In fact, he is the best one to take it. So let's let Luke Combs take the penalty for us 10 minutes into today's game. Not sure what it was for. I assume someone brought down in the box when the cross was being put in. Up steps Luke Combs, puts it in the back of a net. Absolutely thunderstruck that into the back of a net for his 4th of the season. Up to 16th in the table. Up to 16th. That is absolutely delightful. Highlight straight from kickoff, though, which is always a little bit dangerous. Now, hopefully we win possession back, as we have done, not quite, have done now back on the board. It yo-yos or ping-pongs across the centre line there. Hopefully we can get another goal very quickly to really put Ashton in the misery, really, I don't know, just ruin them, basically. I'd rather maybe injure a few of their players as well in the process. That would be quite nice. That would make things potentially a little bit easier for us. But we have given the ball away there. Ford couldn't control it. Green coming forward. Nearly levels things up for Ashton United. They've come close twice now. We need to be a bit more careful at the back. Up to 16th, though, temporarily. Very, very nice. Pontefract's actually only better than us on goal difference. Now, they were a lot higher up the table, as were Frickley. Frickley have dropped down, so have Pontefract, which is good. Because last season, when we went up, we were much better than Pontefract and Frickley. So I was upset when they were doing so well and we weren't doing so well. Obviously, we were quite complacent, or I think I was quite complacent over the transfer window, over summer. The cup games we had last season obviously put me in a bit of false sense of security. We did quite well against teams in this division last season in the cup. So we've learned from that. This summer, we're going to be much more prepared. We're going to bring in plenty of players. As I said, we're going to talk about who we get rid of very shortly. Looks like their player's been sent off already as well. Matt Green or something like that. He's been sent off 30 minutes into the game, which makes things, or Kieran Green sent off. That also makes things a little bit easier for us as Connor Robinson steps up with a free kick and nearly puts it in the back of the net. All that matters here is the win. The points is all that matters in today's game. And actually as well, looking at this, I said we needed 1 point per game pretty much to ensure survival. If we got 1 point per game, that would put us on 42 points. And actually, that's not going to be enough for survival this season. So, really, we do need to push towards that 50-point mark, I think, to ensure survival. The previous few seasons, you had to get like 38 points, I think, to survive. But this season, it's looking a lot more close to the 50 mark, I think. All right, fairly decent first half. It may have been a penalty that we took the lead in, but at least we have taken the lead. We're going to keep going. They're a man down. We can get a result here. I want to say let's not get complacent, but that never works really. And I don't want to just say nothing. I don't want to upset them. So if we can just say let's get the result here, I think they should respond well to that. Throw in for us then as we look to come forward again. Matt Cotton's crossing clear, but only as far as Masters, who shoots, gets not quite a second chance. And now here come us once again. Actually, I thought we might have a counter-attack, subject to a counter-attack, but we're not. We get the ball back. Luke Combs out to Roberts. Roberts with the cross, very, very deep, cleared, but only as far as McQuaid. We keep putting the pressure on. If we keep putting pressure on like this, a goal is sure to come. Ford now puts the ball in, cleared again, but still, we come back again. McQuaid now into Jacqueline. Let's get it out wide. They've got no width now. Their man's been sent off as well. Ball in. Robinson's header into Cotton. Cotton, with only his second goal of the season, puts it in the back of the net to make it 2-0. And ever closer to survival this season. I think actually if we win this game, this is the first game we will have won on camera this season, maybe. Let me know in the comment section if that's right or wrong, but I think this actually would be the first one we win on camera, which is actually quite depressing when you think about it. But at least when I was starting to win a few games, I was actually getting very scared that we would get relegated this season. I was getting really scared. Well, I mean, we still might. It's not like we're going to avoid it now, are we? And now I'm talking. We're out the relegation zone, but we're still only 2 points ahead of it. So there's still a big chance we could go down. Let's make a few changes then. Who's going to come off? We're going to bring Matt Cotton off because he's looking a bit tired out there. We're also going to bring Aidan Walker on for Ford at right back as well, just for a little bit as well. And then, who else wants to come off? No one really wants. Let's leave it like that then. No one else wants to come off. We're all looking relatively fit out there. Another chance for us to come forward now through Luke Combs into Matt Cotton, who puts it out wide to Bird, who's done really well with that. Puts it in, clear, but only as far as McQuaid. Masters hits the post, bounces off the back of the goalkeeper. It's given us a goal, an own goal rather, to Jordan Eastham. Masters really should have got the goal, but was unlucky not to score the first time of asking. But 3-0 up now. Let's continue the tactical changes that we made as well. Get those players on, then get some players rested. We may take Masters off actually as well, just to give him a rest for the final 15 minutes or so. Great save from Emery there as we, someone's offside, so that's fine. Final change then is going to be Masters coming off. Skeffington, get yourself on the pitch. Skeffington, I'm not sure if we'll see him next season either. We're going to have a big cull over summer. A big cull. A lot of players are going to be going. We do run the risk when that happens of having a particularly small squad, a very, very small squad next season. So maybe we won't get rid of everyone right off the bat. But at the same time, if they're not cutting the grade now, we're not going to cut the grade next season, so we may as well get rid of them. But then we won't have backup players, and we probably need backup players. I'm in two minds, but I just want to have a fresh slate. As Luke Holmes, to make it 4, doesn't. Connor Robinson to make it 4, doesn't. Really should have scored one of those opportunities there. Luckily, we are 3-0 up, so it doesn't matter too much. Oh, look at the table as well, by the way. We're up to 15th now as Pontefract are losing and Droylsden are losing. So we temporarily move up to 15th, level on goal difference with Curzon and Ashton. They must have scored more goals than us because that's why they're ahead of us. Oh, this is the springboard now to the top half of the table, potentially, if we start to get a few games. Imagine finishing top half of the table after being in the relegation zone for so long. We've got another chance now right at the end of the game. Narty plays it into Roberts. Roberts plays it into McQuaid. McQuaid back to Skeffington, who shoots, hits the crossbar from... That was a fantastic... Okay, he heard me saying, let's get rid of him. He's responding. He didn't quite get the goal, but at least we have now got the win. Finally a win on camera. And another one. That's like the 4th in a row that we've won now, which is fantastic. Like, this is a... If only we could have done this earlier on the season. If only we could have been like this earlier on the season. That would have been fantastic. So a pretty superb win that. I'm happy with that. At the same time, Altrincham, who are sitting 5th in the table and our opposition for the next game, did win 6-1. So that's, again, that's something to be a little bit concerned about. We'll drop back to the 4-4-2 for the next game, slightly more defensive. We're 4 points clear of Ashton United, who are in the playoffs, in the relegation zone, rather. So we have to capitalise on this opportunity now. We can't... If we drop back into the relegation zone now at this stage of the season, we're getting relegated, I think. So we have to really make sure we capitalise on this bit of form we've got going on right now. I mean, I think this is already, because we won that game, the most successful episode of the season, because we won that game. If we can grab a draw against Altrincham today, that would be the icing on the cake, I think. And that would really cement us. I mean, we're not safe yet, but I think this run of form, we just have to keep it going for a few more games and we'll be fine. You can see here, though, I've got my scouting going. I've got the scouting going. 3-star and above, we keep scouting. 3-star and above, we have to keep scouting those kind of players, I think. We may not actually get any of them. You know, a lot of players probably won't want to come to us, but at least we're going to have a big pool to try and choose from this summer at least. So as I said for this game, we're going to drop back to the 4-4-2 for it. And I'm just happy with like how it sits pretty much. Apart from Robinson, Cotton rather. Cotton's going to swap with Reagan Hutchinson to go up front. But other than that, like, I don't think there's much I really want to change about the squad. So we're going to go with that then. That's the only change, the formation and Reagan Hutchinson coming on the pitch, who we're going to lose at the end of the season because he's just awful and he's only here to make up numbers. We need to get better players in every position. But next season, although Robinson has got 14, 15 goals this season, we do need to have like a proper advanced forward poacher, because I don't think Robinson can just keep doing it. He's not getting any younger or any better either. So we need probably someone who's just more equipped at this level. But Robinson is far on. This is what I mean. Like, he's good. He scores plenty of goals. Like, he scored nearly 30 goals in both seasons in the league below. This year, he's nearly got to that 20 mark. Could still get to that 20 mark, which is fantastic stuff. But he's just declining in his attributes and he's not getting any better. So I just feel like there's better things out there we could get. So we'll see what happens over summer, of course. We'll see what happens over summer. But a striker is a high priority of mine. Anyway, hopefully not much to talk about in this game. I'm hoping we just sit back sort of thing, can grab the draw. That's the real aim of today's game against Altrincham. I don't think it's a game that we can really realistically think we can go out and win. This late stage of the season as well, it's all about just picking up the points now, keeping a little bit of form going. As long as we don't lose, we'll be good. We'll be golden. We've got a chance to try and score, though, as McQuaid puts the ball forward. Cleared, kind of, and it's been cleared properly this time. But again, only as far as McQuaid. If we can bring the ball forward once again, that would be good. As the high press from Altrincham, to be fair. We're limiting our chances to get forward. McQuaid back on the ball now, back to Jacqueline. Back to Emery now. The real high press from Altrincham, to be fair. That was some good movement from them. As the ball is put forward now towards Hutchinson, who can't win it. And now Altrincham trying to come forward in there. Quite a nice purple kit, I've got to say. Ball, a superb ball actually, right to number 7 Hall there, puts it in. Emery with a save, but only pats it down to Matt Dudley, who scores his 15th of the season. To put Altrincham 1-0 up, potentially now, we're not going to get back into this game, because it's very hard to get back into it once we're losing with this formation. If we score the first goal, we seem to do all right with this formation. We often will go on to win the game, but once we concede, we just seem to shut up shop completely and don't really do anything. Right now, it's not affecting things too much because other teams behind us aren't winning. So that's handy. As long as that happens, that's fine. Corner then for Altrincham this time as well. It goes all the way to the back post. It bounces around. It's eventually got rid of. And Robinson punts it upfield to make the clearance. But I think it bounced off the line nearly 3 times there. So that was lucky. I think what we probably might do as well in the second half is go to the diamond as well. That might be something we do just to try and create a different dynamic. See if we can actually grab a draw in this game. Although saying that, I don't know. Well, to be fair, we're losing already. We're only going to lose by more if we don't do it. So let's swap to the diamond then. That will involve taking Luke Holmes and Bird off the pitch. So we need to bring Jack Holmes on in that CDM position and then Matt Cotton on in that attacking midfielder position. You never know. It might just give us that bit of cutting edge that we need to just grab an extra goal in this game to try and level things up. We do drop down to 16th temporarily as Stafford Rangers are clearly winning their game. But again, no one else winning as far as I'm aware right now. So that's good. We still stay in 16th. Still only 3 points clear. But it's I'd rather be 3 points clear than 2 points clear. First highlight of the second half then looks like it's coming towards Altrincham as number 2 Wassey puts it upfield towards Walters now coming up forward. He puts a great ball forward, but Jacqueline makes a good interception. Does only go as far as Altrincham players though, as it comes back out wide. Walters back on the ball. Welsh puts a great ball forward to Dudley, who's in behind the defence. Emery with a fantastic save. He has won us a fair few points this season, Emery. Again, he's a player that we're going to have to probably replace next season if we want to progress. But, you know, on his own, he's probably gained us quite a few points this season, as well as the previous 2 seasons as well. So it'd be a shame to see him lose that number 1 spot. He may not lose it yet, but he probably will, I'm afraid, Michael. Hall coming forward now for Altrincham as they look to try and grab a second goal in this game. Although they're not really progressing forward too much. If Cotton gets a tackle in, which he does, the counter-attack is on. Matt Cotton across to Hutchinson, who can't quite get there. And all that momentum we suddenly gained is now gone. And here come Altrincham now as they're coming forward. We just lack a little bit of... See, look, that's a clinical pass. That split us wide open. Emery with a great save. But Cotton's pass... It was either... Well, probably Reagan. I'm going to blame Reagan Hutchinson's positioning, actually, for the poor delivery and poor execution of that. But again, if we could try and do things like that, it'd be great. We've got another chance now coming forward. Robinson, lacking that clinical pass. What? Lacking clinicality. I think I just made that up, to be fair. But, you know, we'll go with it as Brown. Another chance on target for Altrincham. Emery with another save. How much longer can he hold out as the ball forward into Walters, put across into Brown? This time it does go in the back of the net. And Altrincham make it 2-0. Well, we had a good unbeaten run. Was it 5 or 6 games unbeaten? Today looks like we're finally going to get beaten by Altrincham, but they are chasing the playoffs. They need the win. They're motivated themselves to really chase down this playoffs. So fair play to them. As things stand, though, as we come towards the final 10 minutes of the game or so, Stafford Rangers are back to drawing now. So we go back up to that 15th position. As things stand, everyone else behind us still sort of not winning, which is good. Not winning is a great place to be, although Ashton are now drawing. A third goes in for Altrincham. It doesn't really matter too much. We go behind Stafford Rangers, who have also just gone back in the front of their game, as you can see from the table there. It's going to be an exciting few games at the end of this season. Can we do it? Can we? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Will we survive? Can we survive? Should we survive? Are we good enough to survive? Do we just deserve to go down because we're too bad? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We've lost today against Altrincham, but we've got a massive win against Ashton United. That was huge. And great to finally see one on camera as well, I think. So that was really good. Right. 5 games to go. Warrington in 20th, that's huge. And Nantwich in 22nd, that's huge as well. Basford in 1st, that's a write-off already. And then next episode, we've got Workington in 8th and Stalybridge in 11th. Hopefully, the games against Warrington and Nantwich will do the business there and just about avoid relegation, because these 3 games are going to be... I'm not sure if we can win those ones or not. That's going to be tough. We'll see what happens, though, in between episodes, and I'll show you what happens next episode when we play Workington and Stalybridge. But it's going to be tight. Whatever happens, it's going to be really tight. If you've enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here with notifications turned on so you never miss a video. And I'll see you next time for some more and potentially a heartbreaking episode of the Lincoln Loco 2.